First contact. The vastness of space stretched out before Captain Aria Chen as she guided her small survey vessel, the Curiosity, through the star-speckled void. After months of solitary exploration, she had finally reached her destination, Kepler 186f, an Earth-sized planet in the habitable zone of its star. As the first human to set foot on this distant world, Aria felt the weight of history on her shoulders. As the Curiosity breached the planet's atmosphere, Aria's senses came alive with data. The air was breathable, albeit thin, and the gravity was slightly less than Earth's. The landscape below was a tapestry of deep purple vegetation and shimmering silver lakes. It was beautiful, alien, and utterly captivating. With practiced ease, Aria brought the ship down in a small clearing. Her heart raced as the landing gear touched the alien soil. This was it, the moment she had trained for her entire life. Aria donned her exosuit, a marvel of human engineering designed to protect her from unknown pathogens while allowing her to interact with the environment. With a deep breath, she opened the airlock and stepped out onto the surface of Kepler 186f. The alien world assaulted her senses. The air carried a sweet, almost metallic scent. The purple vegetation swayed in a gentle breeze, emitting soft chiming sounds as the leaves brushed against each other. Aria's boots sank slightly into the spongy ground, leaving distinct footprints, the first human footprints on this world. "Houston, Curiosity has landed," Aria reported, her voice thick with emotion. "The surface is stable, atmosphere as expected. It's incredible." As Aria began to set up her equipment for initial surveys, a flicker of movement caught her eye. She froze, her hand instinctively moving to the stun pistol at her hip. The mission protocols were clear: observe, but to not engage with any potential life forms. But nothing could have prepared her for what emerged from the purple foliage. It was vaguely humanoid in shape, but that's where the similarities ended. Its body seemed to shimmer and shift, as if made of living mercury. Two large, opalescent eyes regarded Aria with unmistakable intelligence. The being had no visible mouth, yet somehow, Aria felt a presence brush against her mind. Less than curiosity greater than the word echoed in her thoughts, not heard but felt. Less than you are not of this world greater than. Aria's scientific training warred with her instincts. This was first contact with an intelligent alien species, an event humanity had dreamed of for centuries. But she was alone, far from any backup, facing an entity with unknown capabilities. I come in peace," Aria managed to say, her voice shaky but determined. "My name is Aria Chen. I'm a human from the planet Earth." The alien's form rippled, and Aria felt a wave of emotions wash over her: curiosity, caution, and something akin to excitement. Less than human, Earth. These concepts are new greater than the alien's thoughts seemed clearer now, as if it was learning to communicate more effectively with each passing moment. Less than I am Zix. This world is our home greater than. Aria's mind raced. "Ah, there are more of you." Zix's body shimmered in what Aria interpreted as affirmation. "Less than many. We are the keepers of this world. Why have you come, Aria Chen of Earth greater than? To explore, to learn." Aria gestured to her equipment. "We seek knowledge about the universe and its wonders." A tendril of silver extended from Zix's form, reaching towards Aria's equipment. She tensed, but forced herself to remain still. The tendril paused just short of touching the devices. "Less than your tools. They are fascinating. So solid, yet intricate." Greater than Zix's thoughts carried a tone of wonder. "Less than we have much to learn from each other. Aria Chen of Earth greater than." As if to demonstrate, Zix's form began to change. The silvery substance shifted and solidified, taking on a more humanoid appearance. Within moments, Aria found herself facing a mirror image of herself, albeit still composed of the shimmering, mercury-like substance. How did you do that?" Aria gasped, a scientific curiosity overriding her shock. "Less than we adapt. We learn. We become greater than Zix's thoughts came through clearly, even as the alien war areas form. Less than this shape allows for easier communication. Does it not greater than? Arya nodded, her mind reeling from the implications. A species capable of such rapid physical adaptation could revolutionize human understanding of biology, physics, and countless other fields. Zix, I have so many questions, Arya began, her earlier caution giving way to excitement. Your abilities, your society, your understanding of the universe, there's so much we could learn from each other. The Zix Arya tilted its head, a perfect mimicry of human body language. Less than yes. And we have questions for you, Arya Chen of Earth. Your world, your people, your journey through the stars, these are mysteries to us greater than. As they began to exchange information, Arya felt a profound sense of awe. This was why she had become an explorer. Not just to find new worlds, but to forge connections across the vast distances of space, to prove that humanity was not alone in the cosmos. Hours passed like minutes as Arya and Zix shared knowledge. The aliens' ability to process and adapt to new information was astonishing. By the time the planet's sun began to set, bathing the landscape in an ethereal green twilight, Zix had learned the basics of human language and culture. I need to report this to my people, Arya said, realizing with a start how much time had passed. This changes everything, Zix. The confirmation of intelligent life beyond Earth, it's the greatest discovery in human history. Zix, still wearing Arya's form, nodded in understanding. Less than yes. And for us, the knowledge that we are not alone in the universe is equally profound. But Arya Chen of Earth, we must proceed with caution greater than. What do you mean? Arya asked, a note of concern creeping into her voice. Less than our people are different. Our ways of thinking, of existing, are alien to each other. There is much potential for misunderstanding greater than. Zix's form rippled, showing flashes of its original Mercury-like state. Less than we must prepare both our peoples for this new reality greater than. Arya nodded slowly, understanding the wisdom in Zix's words. You're right. We need to approach this carefully. But Zix, don't you see? This is an opportunity for both our species to grow, to expand our understanding of the universe and our place in it. Less than yes, greater than. Zix's thoughts carried a sense of hope and excitement. Less than together, we can explore the stars, Arya Chen of Earth. Your curiosity and our adaptability. Imagine what we could achieve greater than. As the alien spoke, its form began to change once more. The shimmering surface split and reformed, creating wing-like appendages that caught the fading light of the alien sun. Less than come greater than. Zix thought, extending a hand-like appendage to Arya. Less than, let me show you our world from above. There is much beauty here that cannot be seen from the ground greater than. Arya hesitated for a moment, her training telling her to be cautious. But the explorer in her, the path that had driven her across the stars to this distant world, won out. She took Zix's hand, marveling at the strange texture, neither solid nor liquid, but something in between. With a grace that defied its alien nature, Zix lifted them both into the air. Arya gasped as the ground fell away, the purple landscape spreading out beneath them like a surreal painting. As they soared over Kepler 186f, Arya's mind buzzed with the implications of this encounter. The challenges ahead were daunting: cultural differences to navigate, potential conflicts to avoid, and the monumental task of introducing two vastly different civilizations to each other. But as she looked at Zix, this being of Mercury and stardust who had chosen to trust her, Arya felt a surge of hope. This was humanity's greatest adventure, and she was at the forefront. Thank you, Zix, Arya said, her voice carried away by the alien wind. For trusting me, for showing me your world. Less than and thank you, Arya Chen of Earth, greater than. Zix replied, its thoughts warm with genuine affection. Less than for bringing your curiosity to our shores. Together, we shall write a new chapter in the story of the cosmos greater than. As they flew towards the setting sun, Arya knew that nothing would ever be the same. Humanity had taken its first steps into a larger universe, full of wonders and challenges beyond imagination. And she, Arya Chen, would be the bridge between two worlds, united by an unquenchable thirst for knowledge and the boundless spirit of exploration. The journey ahead would be difficult, filled with obstacles and misunderstandings. But as Arya soared through the alien sky with her new ally, she knew that the potential for growth, for discovery, for a future brighter than anyone had dared to dream, was limitless. This was only the beginning. Echoes of misunderstanding. The gleaming spires of New Geneva stretched towards the sky, a testament to humanity's resilience and ingenuity. Within the United Earth Government's headquarters, diplomats and scientists from across the globe gathered, their faces a mix of excitement and apprehension. The news of first contact had spread like wildfire, igniting the imaginations of billions. Dr. Arya Chen stood before the assembly, her hands trembling slightly as she prepared to present her findings. The weight of her experience on Kepler 186 still felt surreal. "Ladies and gentlemen," she began, her voice steady despite her nerves, "what I'm about to share will reshape our understanding of the universe and our place in it." As Arya recounted her encounter with Zix and the shape-shifting keepers, the room erupted into a cacophony of questions and exclamations. Holographic displays flickered to life, showing recordings from Arya's exosuit camera. The sight of Zix transforming, mimicking Arya's form, sent shockwaves through the assembly. "This is unprecedented," exclaimed Dr. Yuki Tanaka, the lead xenobiologist. "A species capable of molecular restructuring at will? The scientific implications are staggering." General Marcus Stone, head of Earth's Defense Force, leaned forward, his expression grave. "And what are their intentions, Dr. Chen? How can we be sure these keepers don't pose a threat to Earth?" Arya took a deep breath, choosing her words carefully. "In my interactions with Zix, I sensed only curiosity and a genuine desire for peaceful exchange. Their adaptability is not a weapon, but a tool for understanding." As the debate raged on, light years away on Kepler 186f, Zix faced a similar challenge. The Keeper stood before the Council of Elders, its form rippling with nervous energy as it relayed the news of Arya's visit. Less than a solid being, from beyond the stars, greater than Zix communicated, projecting images of Arya and her ship. Less than they call themselves humans, and their curiosity matches our own greater than the Elders' forms swirled in agitation, their thoughts a turbulent mix of fascination and fear. Less than these humans, greater than one Elder projected, less than they cannot change, cannot adapt as we do. How can beings so rigid hope to understand our ways greater than less than and their machines, greater than another added, less than so cold, so lifeless? Do they rely on these constructs because their own forms are lacking greater than Zix felt a wave of frustration? Less than you misunderstand. Their differences are their strength. Arya Chen showed me wonders beyond imagination, a species that has spread across a world, reaching for the stars despite their unchanging forms greater than back on Earth. The debate had reached a fever pitch. The decision to send a diplomatic mission to Kepler 186f was unanimous, but the exact nature of the engagement was hotly contested. "We must approach with caution," General Stone insisted. "A species with their abilities could easily infiltrate and overwhelm us." Dr. Tanaka shook her head vehemently. "This is a chance for unprecedented scientific cooperation. We can't let fear dictate our actions." Arya listened to the arguments, her heart heavy. She thought of Zix, of the wonder in its thoughts as they soared over the alien landscape. How could she make them understand? "Enough." Arya's voice cut through the chaos. The room fell silent, all eyes turning to her. "You're all missing the point. The Keepers aren't just aliens. They're a mirror, showing us a new way of seeing ourselves and the universe." She strode to the center of the room, activating a holographic display. Images of Earth's diverse ecosystems and cultures flickered to life. "Look at us," Harriet continued, her voice passionate. We're a species of adapters too. We've thrived in every environment our world has to offer, not by changing our bodies, but by changing our minds, our tools, our societies. The keepers do in moments what we've done over millennia. The assembly murmured, considering her words. And yes, that makes them different, alien, but it also makes them kindred spirits. They reshape their bodies, we reshape our world. Imagine what we could learn from each other, how we could grow together. On Kepler 186f, Zix made a similar plea to the Council of Elders. Less than the human's very nature challenges us to see the universe anew greater than Zix projected, its form taking on aspects of Aria's ship, then of Earth's varied landscapes. Less than their stability, which we might see as stagnation, allows them to build, to create lasting works that shape their world. We change ourselves to suit our environment. They change their environment to suit themselves. Greater than the elders' forms rippled with consideration. Less than your words carry wisdom, young one greater than the chief elder projected. Less than but the path forward is uncertain. How can we bridge such a vast divide? Greater than. As if in answer, a signal pulsed across the vast expanse of space. On both Earth and Kepler 186f, communications arrays sparked to life. A message, simple yet profound, echoed across the stars. Greetings, friends. We are ready to talk. The message, broadcast in the mathematical language Aria and Zix had developed during their encounter, set both worlds abuzz with excitement and trepidation. On Earth, Aria felt a surge of hope. Don't you see? She addressed the assembly. They're reaching out, taking the first step. We owe it to ourselves, to our shared future, to meet them halfway. General Stone nodded slowly, his earlier suspicion giving way to cautious optimism. You've made your point, Dr. Chen, but this mission will require our best and brightest. The fate of two worlds will hang in the balance. Dr. Tanaka grinned, her eyes shining with excitement. Oh, it'll be more than that, General. This isn't just about two worlds, it's about reshaping the very fabric of the cosmos. We're about to rewrite the laws of biology, physics, maybe even reality itself. As the Earth's leaders debated the composition of the diplomatic mission, Zix and the Council of Elders reached a similar conclusion. Less than we must prepare, greater than the chief elder projected. Less than Zix, you will lead our delegation. Your experience with the human Aria Chen makes you uniquely suited to this task, greater than Zix's form swelled with pride and determination. Less than I will not fail you, nor our new friends among the stars greater than. As both civilizations geared up for their historic meeting, neither could anticipate the challenges that lay ahead. Cultural misunderstandings, biological incompatibilities, and the vast gulf of interstellar distance were just the beginning. Yet in that moment, as two worlds reached across the cosmic void, hope blossomed. Humanity, with its tenacity and adaptability, and the Keepers, with their fluid nature and ancient wisdom, stood on the brink of a new era. Aria Chen, standing at the heart of this cosmic revolution, felt the weight of history on her shoulders. But as she looked out at the stars, knowing that Zix was out there, reaching back, she couldn't help but smile. Well, she whispered to herself, here we go. One small step for a human, one giant leap for two civilizations. Little did she know, the true test of humanity's resilience and the Keeper's adaptability was yet to come. As the diplomatic missions prepared for their journey, ancient forces stirred in the depths of space, forces that would challenge the fledgling alliance to its very core. The stage was set for a cosmic drama unlike any other, where the fate of two civilizations would rest on their ability to overcome their differences and forge a bond stronger than the very stars themselves. The cosmic crucible. The interstellar vessel Harmony glided through the void, its sleek design a testament to humanity's technological prowess. Inside, a carefully selected team of Earth's finest diplomats, scientists, and military personnel prepared for their historic encounter with the Keepers of Kepler 186. Dr. Aria Chen stood at the ship's observation deck, her eyes fixed on the approaching alien world. The swirling purple and silver landscape brought back vivid memories of her first encounter with Zix. "Penny for your thoughts, Doc." Arya turned to see Captain Jack Harper, the mission's military liaison, approaching. His rugged features were softened by a look of genuine curiosity. "Just wondering what new surprises await us, Captain," Arya replied with a small smile. "The universe has a way of defying our expectations." Harper nodded, his eyes scanning the alien horizon. "That it does. Let's just hope those surprises are of the friendly variety." As the Harmony entered Kepler 186's atmosphere, a shimmering shape appeared in the sky before them. It was massive, easily dwarfing their ship, and seemed to be composed of thousands of interlinked, shape-shifting beings. "My God," whispered Dr. Elena Volkov, the team's xenobiologist. It's beautiful." The vast living ship of keepers gracefully escorted the Harmony to a designated landing zone. As the human vessel touched down, the alien construct dispersed, its component beings flowing like liquid mercury to form a welcoming committee. At the forefront stood a familiar figure, Zix, its form currently mimicking a blend of human and keeper characteristics. "Less than welcome, friends from Earth," greater than Zix's thoughts resonated in the minds of the human delegation as they disembarked. "Less than we are honored by your presence, greater than." Arya stepped forward, acting as the bridge between the two species. "The honor is ours, Zix. We come in peace and with open minds, eager to learn and share." What followed was a whirlwind of cultural exchange, scientific discovery, and diplomatic negotiations. The humans marveled at the keepers' living architecture, their cities grown from the very substance of their bodies. In turn, the keepers were fascinated by human technology, art, and the concept of individual permanence. But as the days passed, cracks began to appear in the fledgling alliance. "They're holding back," Captain Harper insisted during a private meeting of the human leadership. "There's whole sectors of their planet they won't let us access. What are they hiding?" Dr. Volkov shook her head in frustration. "You're missing the point, Jack. Their entire civilization is built on change, on fluidity. The concept of restricted areas is probably foreign to them. We're the ones imposing our rigid thinking on their world." Meanwhile, among the keepers, similar concerns were brewing. Less than the humans sequester themselves in their ship of dead metal, greater than one elder projected. Less than they hide behind barriers of cloth and plastic. How can we trust beings who fear true connection, greater than Zix, caught between two worlds, struggled to maintain harmony? Less than please, we must strive for understanding. Our differences are not weaknesses, but opportunities for growth, greater than. As tensions simmered, a new variable entered the equation. The Harmony's long-range sensors detected an anomaly at the edge of the solar system, a massive object, like nothing seen before, approaching at impossible speeds. Arya and Zix stood side by side in the Harmony's control room, watching as the mysterious object grew closer on the view screen. "What is it?" Arya whispered, her scientific curiosity warring with a growing sense of dread. Zix's form rippled with agitation. "Less than I do not know. In all our history, we have never encountered anything like this." Greater than the object, now visible to the naked eye, defied comprehension. It was a writhing mass of darkness, seeming to devour the very light around it. Tendrils of void stretched out, probing the space ahead of it. Suddenly, the ship's communications array crackled to life. A voice, if it could be called that, echoed through the speakers. It was a cacophony of discordant tones, underlying a message that chilled everyone to the bone. "We are THENULFIERS. Your existence is an aberration. Prepare for cosmic recertification." Panic erupted among both humans and keepers. The threat, incomprehensible yet undeniably real, loomed over both civilizations. Captain Harper's voice cut through the chaos. "Battle stations. We need to buy time to evacuate the planet." But Arya and Zix shared a look of sudden understanding. This threat, this cosmic horror, couldn't be fought with conventional weapons or tactics. Wait, Arya shouted, her mind racing. We can't fight this thing, but maybe we can confuse it, overwhelm its senses. Zix's form brightened with realization. Less than yes. Our adaptability, your technology, together, we might stand a chance greater than what followed was a desperate race against time. Humans and keepers, setting aside their differences, worked in perfect harmony. The keepers formed a massive, ever-shifting barrier around the planet, constantly changing to prevent the nullifiers from getting a lock on their target. Meanwhile, the human scientists, led by Arya and Dr. Volkov, repurposed the Harmony systems to create a barrage of conflicting signals, false readings, and sensory overload directed at the approaching threat. As the nullifiers drew near, their tendrils of void lashing out at the combined defenses, Arya and Zix stood at the heart of the resistance, their minds linked in perfect synchronization. Now, Arya shouted, her voice echoed by Zix's mental projection. The Keeper's living shield pulsed with blinding light, each being projecting a unique energy signature. Simultaneously, the Harmony unleashed its cacophony of signals, creating a symphony of chaos aimed at the cosmic horror. The Nullifier's advance faltered, their writhing mass contorting in apparent confusion. For a moment that stretched into eternity, the fate of two civilizations hung in the balance. Then, with a silent scream that echoed in the minds of all present, the Nullifiers began to retreat. Their form, once so terrifyingly solid, seemed to unravel at the edges. It's working, Dr. Volkov exclaimed, her eyes wide with disbelief. They can't process the combined input. We've overloaded their systems. As the threat receded, dissolving into the depths of space, a profound silence fell over Kepler 186f. Humans and keepers alike stared at the sky, scarcely believing their victory. Slowly, a cheer began to build. It started as a ripple among the human crew, growing into a roar of triumph. The keepers, picking up on the emotion, joined in their own way, their bodies pulsing with vibrant colors and harmonious mental projections. In the midst of the celebration, Arya turned to Zix, tears of joy and relief streaming down her face. "We did it," she whispered. "Together." Zix's form shimmered, taking on a more human-like appearance as it reached out to embrace Arya. "Less than yes, my friend. Together, we have faced the darkness and emerged stronger, greater than." As the two stood there, symbols of the bridge between their species, a new understanding dawned. The differences that had seemed so insurmountable mere hours ago now paled in comparison to what they had achieved in unity. Captain Harper approached, a look of grudging respect on his face. "I'll be damned," he said, shaking his head in amazement. "Looks like our differences really are our strength." Dr. Volkov joined them, her eyes shining with excitement. "Can you imagine what we can achieve now? The scientific possibilities, the exchange of knowledge and culture, we're entering a golden age of cosmic cooperation." As news of the victory spread, both on Kepler 186f and back on Earth, a wave of hope and unity swept through both civilizations. The threat of the nullifiers, while terrifying, had forged a bond stronger than anyone could have imagined. Arya and Zix, standing at the center of this new alliance, knew that challenges still lay ahead. There would be misunderstandings, conflicts, and hurdles to overcome. But they had proven that together, there was no cosmic threat they couldn't face. As the twin suns of Kepler 186 set on this historic day, casting the landscape in a breathtaking array of colors, Arya smiled at her alien friend. "So Zix, ready to explore the universe together?" Zix's form rippled with excitement, taking on aspects of stars and galaxies. "Less than my dear Arya, I thought you'd never ask. The cosmic adventure is just beginning greater than." And so, as two civilizations looked to the stars with newfound hope and unity, the next chapter in their shared cosmic destiny began to unfold. The universe, vast and mysterious, awaited their combined exploration, promising wonders beyond imagination and challenges that would test the very limits of their alliance. But together, humans and keepers were ready to face whatever the cosmos had in store, their differences not a weakness, but the very key to unlocking the secrets of existence itself. Quantum entanglement of souls. The grand amphitheater of New Alexandria buzzed with anticipation. Delegates from Earth and Kepler 186 have gathered for the first Galactic Concord Summit, 5 years after the nullifier incident. The room was a striking blend of human architecture and keeper bioorganic structures, symbolizing the unprecedented cooperation between the two species. Dr. Aria Chen, now the lead xenanthropologist for the United Earth government, stood at the podium. Beside her, Zix shimmered in a form that seamlessly blended human and keeper characteristics. Distinguished delegates, Aria began, her voice carrying across the hushed audience. Today we stand on the precipice of a new era. Project Nexus is no longer just a dream, but a reality within our grasp. Holographic displays flickered to life, showing intricate schematics of a device that defied conventional understanding. It was a fusion of human technology and keeper bioengineering, a machine that pulsed with an otherworldly energy. Zix's thoughts resonated through the minds of all present. Less than Project Nexus represents the pinnacle of our combined knowledge. A bridge not just between our species, but between the very fabric of our realities. Greater than, the crowd murmured in a mix of awe and apprehension. Project Nexus was ambitious beyond measure, an attempt to create a permanent psychic link between humans and keepers, allowing for instantaneous communication and shared experiences across the vast distances of space. Captain Jack Harper, now Admiral of the Earthkeeper Joint Defense Fleet, leaned forward in his seat. The strategic implications are staggering, he whispered to Dr. Elena Volkov beside him. But the risks, Elena nodded, her eyes never leaving the display. To merge minds across species, across light years, we're rewriting the laws of physics and biology. The potential for disaster is as great as the potential for discovery. As Aria and Zix delved into the technical aspects of Project Nexus, a commotion erupted at the back of the amphitheater. A group of protesters, both human and keeper, unfurled banners denouncing the project. "Stop the mind, meld madness," one human shouted. "Less than our individuality is sacred, greater than," projected a keeper, its form roiling with agitation. Security moved to contain the disruption, but Aria raised her hand, calling for calm. "Please," she addressed the protesters, "your concerns are valid and heard. Project Nexus is not about erasing our differences, but about celebrating them. It's a bridge, not a merger." Zix's form rippled in agreement. "Less than, we stand at a crossroads of cosmic significance. Fear is natural, but we must not let it hinder progress. Remember the nullifiers. Our unity is our strength, greater than." As the summit continued, debates raged both in the amphitheater and across two worlds. The promise of Project Nexus was immense: instantaneous communication across vast distances, shared knowledge and experiences between species, perhaps even the key to unlocking the mysteries of consciousness itself. But the fears were equally profound. What if a link couldn't be broken? What if one species dominated the other? What if it opened their minds to cosmic horrors they weren't prepared to face? Months passed, filled with heated discussions, rigorous testing, and philosophical debates that stretched the boundaries of both human and keeper understanding. Finally, the day of the first official test arrived. The chosen site was a remote facility on Europa, Jupiter's ice-covered moon. A small team of human and keeper volunteers gathered around the Nexus device, a pulsing crystalline structure that hummed with otherworldly energy. Aria and Zix stood at the forefront, having insisted on being the first to attempt the connection. Their journey together, from first contact to saving their worlds from cosmic horror, had forged a bond deeper than either could have imagined. "Are you ready?" Aria asked, a hint of nervousness in her voice. Zix's form shimmered with a mix of excitement and apprehension. Less than as ready as one can be to touch the infinite, my friend greeter than they stepped onto the activation platform. The Nexus device pulsed brighter, tendrils of energy reaching out to envelop them. For a moment, nothing seemed to happen. Then, with a flash of light that seared itself into the minds of all watching, Aria and Zix vanished. Panic erupted in the control room. "Where are they?" Admiral Harper demanded, his face pale with shock. Dr. Volkov frantically scanned the readings. "They're everywhere. And nowhere. The quantum signatures are off the charts." In that moment, Aria and Zix experienced something beyond the comprehension of their respective species. They were one yet distinct. Their consciousness expanded, touching the very edges of the universe. They saw the birth of stars and the death of galaxies. They witnessed the intricate dance of subatomic particles and the grand waltz of cosmic filaments. Past, present, and future blurred into a singular moment of infinite possibility. And then they were back. Aria collapsed to her knees, gasping for breath. Zix's form fluctuated wildly before stabilizing. "My God," Aria whispered, tears streaming down her face. Did you see?" "Less than yes, greater than," Zix projected, its thoughts a whirlwind of emotion and revelation. "Less than we touched the cosmic consciousness, the very soul of the universe greater than." As the team rushed to check on them, Aria and Zix shared a look of profound understanding. They had glimpsed something that would change both their species forever. In the days that followed, as Aria and Zix recounted their experience, a new wave of excitement and trepidation swept through both Earth and Kepler 186f. The success of Project Nexus opened doors to realms of science and spirituality previously thought impossible. Research teams worked tirelessly to refine the technology to make it safe for widespread use. The potential applications seemed limitless, from revolutionary advancements in medicine and technology to deepening cultural understanding and even exploring the nature of consciousness itself. But with this new frontier came new challenges. Reports surfaced of individuals unable to fully disconnect from the Nexus, their minds forever altered by the experience. Others spoke of glimpsing cosmic truths too profound for mortal minds to bear. As humanity and the Keepers grappled with the implications of their creation, a new signal was detected from the depths of space. It was faint, almost imperceptible, but undeniably artificial. Aria and Zix, their bond now deeper than ever, stood before the galactic Concord, their faces grave yet filled with determination. "We are not alone," Aria announced, her voice steady. "There are others out there, perhaps trapped as we once were, facing threats we can scarcely imagine." Zix's form pulsed with agreement. "Less than with Project Nexus, we have the power to reach out, to connect across the cosmic void. But are we ready for what we might find greater than?" As the delegates debated their next move, Aria and Zix shared a private moment of understanding. They had touched the infinite, had seen the threads that connected all life in the universe. Whatever challenges lay ahead, they would face them together, not just as two individuals, but as representatives of a cosmic alliance forged in the fires of adversity and tempered by shared discovery. The universe, vast and mysterious, awaited their next move, and for the first time, humanity and the Keepers were truly ready to answer its call, united in a bond that transcended the very boundaries of space and time. As the signal from deep space continued its lonely journey towards them, Aria and Zix prepared to lead their people into a new age of cosmic exploration and understanding. The greatest adventure in the history of two worlds was about to begin, and its outcome would reshape the very fabric of the universe itself. Cosmic harmonies discord. The Nexus chamber hummed with an otherworldly energy, its crystalline structure pulsing in sync with the heartbeats of those connected to it. Dr. Aria Chen and Zix, their forms now a seamless blend of human and Keeper, stood at the center of a whirlwind of data and sensory input. "The signal's getting stronger," Aria announced, her voice resonating with a harmonic undertone that echoed Zix's mental projections. "We're close to pinpointing its origin." Admiral Harper, his face lined with worry, watched from the control room. And you're sure this isn't another nullifier trap? Less than no greater than Zix's thoughts rippled through the minds of all present. Less than this signal. It sings with life, with hope, but also with desperation. Greater than. Suddenly, the Nexus chamber erupted in a cacophony of light and sound. Aria and Zix gasped in unison as their merged consciousness made contact with the source of the signal. Images flashed through their shared mind. A dying world, its twin suns fading to ember-red dwarfs. A civilization of beings that seemed to flicker in and out of existence, their very substance woven from light and shadow. And behind it all, a looming darkness that devoured stars and left only void in its wake. "By all that's holy," Dr. Volkov whispered, watching the holographic projections of Aria and Zix's vision. "What are we seeing?" As the connection stabilized, a voice, or rather, a chorus of voices, echoed through the Nexus chamber. "Greetings, children of solid matter and fluid form. We are the Lumina, keepers of the cosmic harmony. Our song fades, our light dims. The discordance approaches, and we beseech your aid." Aria and Zix, their merged form shimmering with the effort of maintaining the connection, spoke as one. "We hear you, Lumina. Tell us of this discordance, and how we might help." What followed was a download of information so vast and complex that it threatened to overwhelm even the advanced Nexus systems. The Lumina, it seemed, were an ancient race that had evolved beyond physical form, existing as beings of pure energy and thought. For eons, they had maintained the cosmic harmony, a delicate balance of forces that kept the universe stable. But now, a malevolent entity known as the Discordance threatened to unravel the very fabric of reality. It was a force of pure entropy, feeding on the destruction of ordered systems and coherent thought. The nullifiers, they learned, were merely the harbingers of this greater threat. As Aria and Zix relayed this information to the stunned observers, the implications became clear. The union of humanity and the Keepers, the development of the Nexus technology, it wasn't mere chance. They had been unknowingly preparing for this cosmic crisis. But how can we fight something that destroys order itself? Admiral Harper demanded, his military mind struggling to conceive of tactics against such an enemy. Dr. Volkov, her eyes alight with sudden inspiration, stepped forward. "We don't fight it. We harmonize with it." All eyes turned to her as she excitedly explained her theory. The Nexus doesn't just connect minds, it creates a new form of ordered complexity. If we can expand it, create a network of consciousness spanning multiple species across the galaxy, we could generate a field of coherence strong enough to neutralize the discordance. Greater than. Zix finished the thought, its form rippling with excitement. The next few months were a whirlwind of activity. The Galactic Concord, spurred by the existential threat, poured resources into expanding the Nexus network. New alliances were forged with other species discovered through the expanding web of consciousness. Each new mind added to the network strengthened their defense against the encroaching chaos. But as the network grew, so did the challenges. Some individuals, unable to handle the influx of cosmic awareness, fell into catatonic states. Others developed God complexes, believing themselves to be above the concerns of their original species. The line between individual and collective consciousness began to blur, raising ethical dilemmas that philosophers had never dreamed of facing. Aria and Zix, their merged form now a permanent state, worked tirelessly to maintain stability within the growing cosmic network. They became living symbols of unity, bridging gaps between vastly different forms of life and thought. As the day of confrontation approached, billions of minds across the galaxy prepared to join in a singular moment of cosmic harmony. The plan was audacious, to create a resonance field so powerful, so ordered, that it would either repel the discordance or force it to evolve into a form compatible with existence. In the final hours, as the discordances approached, sent shockwaves of terror through the galactic community, Aria Zix addressed the United Species. "Fellow sentients, we stand at the precipice of either our greatest triumph or our final hour. But remember, our strength lies not in our individual powers, but in the bonds we forged. Together, we are more than the sum of our parts. We are the universe becoming aware of itself, and we will not go quietly into the void. As the discordance breached the outer reaches of the galaxy, its presence a writhing mass of unreality that hurt to perceive, trillions of minds joined as one. The nexus flared to life, each node in its vast network shining like a newborn star. For a moment that stretched into eternity, two forces clashed: the nihilistic entropy of the discordance versus the unified will of a galaxy's worth of conscious beings. Space itself seemed to warp and twist, fundamental forces fluctuating wildly. And then, with a silent explosion that rippled through every connected mind, it was over. Where the discordance had been, there was now something else. Not destruction, not victory, but a transformation beyond comprehension. As the dust settled and the galaxy collectively caught its breath, Area 6 was the first to understand. Their voice, laden with awe and wonder, echoed through the nexus. It's evolving. W-E-R-A, evolving. The discordance, the harmony, they were two halves of a greater whole. And now, we're part of that whole too. In the years that followed, the galaxy entered a new age of exploration and discovery. The barrier between thought and reality, between individual and collective, became permeable in ways previously unimaginable. New forms of life and consciousness emerged, bridging the gap between matter and energy, order and chaos. Area 6, along with representatives from every connected species, formed the Cosmic Council, not to govern, but to guide and explore the ever-expanding frontiers of existence. The threat of the discordance had been transmuted into an opportunity for growth beyond anything they had dreamed possible. As news of their victory spread to the farthest reaches of the universe, new signals began to appear. Other galaxies, other dimensions, reached out to join the grand cosmic dance. Standing at the threshold of this new reality, Area 6 felt a sense of both accomplishment and humility. They had faced the greatest threat imaginable and emerged not just victorious, but fundamentally transformed. The adventure, it seemed, was only just beginning. The cosmos, infinite in its mysteries, awaited, and this time they would explore it not as separate species, not even as a united galaxy, but as an ever-evolving tapestry of interconnected consciousness, writing the next chapter in the grand story of existence itself. As the Cosmic Council prepared for their first journey into the true unknown, Area 6 smiled, their merged forms shimmering with anticipation. The boundaries of what was possible had been shattered, and the greatest voyage in the history of consciousness was about to begin. The universe, it turned out, was stranger, more wonderful, and more alive than anyone had ever dared to imagine. And now, they were all part of its ongoing symphony, playing notes in a cosmic song that would echo through eternity.